What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Military Cashflow. All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about the importance of understanding your exit strategy. Always know your exit strategy. What is an exit strategy? It's basically, hey, you're going to get into an investment one way or another, right? You're doing something to get in there, but how do you get out of the investment? That's the exit strategy. Why is that important? We're about to get into that. But before we do, you already know I need you to go ahead and hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. Let's talk about an exit strategy, guys. So anytime you invest into something, there's so many people that think about an investment very speculatively, basically saying, I don't know a lot about it, but hey, the numbers kind of look good. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. I do not care if it's just real estate or if it's stocks or maybe investing in a startup business or anything like that. You put in money and you're thinking, oh, it's going to perform. I'm going to make some money and I'll pull it out at some point, right? Too many people do that. But you have to think about the true exit strategy. If you're coming in, what is the exit strategy? Now, the exit strategy may be to never exit, right? And hold that thing forever. Or maybe, hey, let's hold it for 2 years, sell it at 2 year mark. Or as soon as it hits a certain number, right? For like stocks, if we're doing our options, as soon as it hits a certain number, I'm yanking it out and I'm walking away with my profits. That could be an exit strategy. But why is it so important? First off, one of my favorite quotes ever, the Cheshire Cat, if you don't know where you're going, well, any road will take you there, right? Clarity is power. If you don't know what you want, then you're just kind of sitting there and just kind of being controlled by the elements of the different variations that could impact your investment, all right? Two, if you don't know where you're trying to go, then you can't control the factors to get you there, right? So it's almost kind of the hand in hand there. Either you're flying by the seat of your pants or you're taking the bull by the horns and you're actually making it go into the direction that you want to. So you have to know your exit strategy for those reasons. That's why it's important. But let's think about some of the, I like to call these second and third order effects, almost like the butterfly effect, right? If I do this, this is going to be the reaction. Therefore, that's going to be the reaction, so forth and so on, right? So when we're looking at an investment property and we know that we're going to go in and we're going to purchase the property, and let's say we put in some renovations, okay? But we have no idea what the exit is. What could be some of these second and third order effects? Well, let's talk about it real quick. Let's say we want to do a BRRRR strategy. What is a BRRRR strategy, you ask? That's the buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Very common, made popular by bigger pockets, right? What does it mean? It means you're going to go in, you're going to purchase, you're going to put in renovations for the intent to refinance down the road and pull that money back out. Now that's great. But what happens if you didn't know the exit strategy? Okay. You go in, you buy this property. Let's say we buy it for $50,000. All right. And then all of a sudden, we know we just want to continue to upgrade it. We want the nicest stuff. We want to put in granite countertops. We want to put in stainless steel appliances, the best luxury flooring, right? Brand new roof, high-end HVAC. We want to put all that good stuff. We end up spending $40,000. So now we're all in $90,000 on this bad boy. And when it's all said and done, it's only worth $100,000. Ooh, okay. It's kind of close. When we think about it, a BRRRR strategy, we can only pull out so much of that future value, of that ARV, okay? So we can only pull out so much of 100,000. In most cases, it's about 75% of the future value, the ARV. So in this case, if it's $100,000, we can only pull out $75,000. But remember, how much did we put in? 90. Now, we're not even talking about loan points and fees and closing costs and all this other transfers, this and that. We got some little additional costs in there, but essentially you're saying I'm only going to get $75,000 back, and I essentially have to leave another 15,000 in. I think that's right. Yeah, 15,000 in. Okay. So now we have to think, all right, well, if I didn't think about my exit strategy was a BRRRR and I put all this money and now I left 15,000 in, how much more is that really going to affect my cash on cash return, my cash flow, right? If I knew the entire time that my strategy was a BRRRR, then why wouldn't I have tried to reduce my expenses and keep it all as close to 75,000 as possible, knowing that the ARV is 100,000. You see my point? That's why it's so important. Now that we've talked a very, very realistic example of why that exit strategy is so important, let's talk about how you should come up with an exit strategy, or better yet, how you should evaluate an exit strategy. Now, this is my opinion, so take it for what it is. But I'm a firm believer that we should evaluate every piece of property in every single way that we can. We should evaluate it as a flip. We should evaluate it as a burn. We should evaluate it as a turnkey. We should evaluate it as a air burn B, right? As a turn and burn. Hey, if you guys don't know, first off, I will admit, my boy Daniel Kidd came up with all those beautiful names, so I'll give him credit. However, he did allow me to contribute it into the book. I can't. Boom, The Elite Investor. So if you are interested in learning a lot of those creative strategies, that book's got a nice little glossary that's all summed up in the back. And you guys can find it at Amazon, or better yet, right in the link below. Or you can go to the website, militarycashflow.com, which has been upgraded and it looks gorgeous. You can also find some swag. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing a Military Cashflow shirt today. I'm all discombobulated, but I am paying homage to my old ODA, 3236, throwing it out there. Love you guys. Anyway, so distracted. But if you are looking at some oil strategies, by the way, but the point is, we want to evaluate it from every single direction, okay? The reason why is because if you think in your mind, hey, I can only do flips. I'm only looking for flips. I'm only looking for flips. That's great. Now you've defined your criteria and you know what's going to be a good deal for you or not. But once you really start to understand how every deal is analyzed, you start to understand how those different, I call them levers, right? Or basically inputs. Here's an example of an input, guys: a purchase price, renovation price, holding costs. Those are different inputs and how it affects the different outputs. When I'm talking about outputs, I'm talking cash on cash return, internal rate of return, net present value, discounted cash flows, all those beautiful financial models that most of y'all be like, I don't care. That's fine. But you'll quickly start to learn how the different inputs affect the outputs. This becomes extremely important when you start to manipulate deals to fit your metrics. If you tell me, hey, Mike, I really want to get 15% cash on cash return. Great. That's awesome. That's awesome. But you look at a deal and you said, hey, man, I ran it as a turnkey property. And honestly, it's only giving me 8%. Okay, great. But by the practice of looking at it from every different way, that's a turnkey. That's saying just straight up, I'm going to put 20% down, 30-year fixed mortgage at 4% interest rate. I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? But what if we put a little bit of love into a little bit of rehab, maybe raise the value a little bit, right? Maybe refinance it, or because we put in that value, we now increased rental cash flow, or better yet, what if we Airbnb'd it? Really increase the revenue, right? You start looking at different ways that you can kind of affect the metric that you care about, which in this scenario would be cash on cash return, okay? In addition to that, so that's one, problem solving is literally the lifeblood of everything. If you can start thinking creatively, how can I make this deal work? Well, guess what? You're going to take that problem solving mentality into every aspect of your life. You're going to be a better salesperson, better in your whatever, right? I'm not going to talk about relationship business. I cannot talk about relationship business. So we're not going to do that because I don't really have any good experience. But what we're talking about is the ability to navigate through any type of financial dilemma, if you will, right? But to come up with solutions very creatively to meet those goals. That doesn't only benefit you, that could also benefit other investors. Maybe people that are potentially going to be private money investors to you. Or if you evaluate the hell out of the deal and you realize it's not a good fit for you, however, right? Let's say it's not a good flip for you because you're specifically looking for turnkey. However, it'd be a great opportunity to do a flip. Well, you might have the opportunity to wholesale. You just created another exit strategy by simply understanding your original exit strategy and learning how to evaluate it from other exit strategies, right? That's why it's so important, guys. And so it's kind of thrown around pretty often as, what's your exit strategy? What's your exit strategy? And I feel like most people don't really take it that serious. Please, I'm begging you, take that question very seriously. understand exactly what your exit strategy is, understand what all the different exit strategies are, and really start to put that into consideration when you're evaluating those numbers, because it's going to pay dividends. I promise you. I promise you guys. I'll put everything on it. All right. Now, enough of that. That's a quick little video, but I greatly appreciate you guys taking the time. Again, I'm gonna give a quick little reminder. Go ahead and hit that little like button there, subscribe, notification bell, ding-a-ling, and share this video, guys. Somebody needs to know this, right? There's probably somebody out there that talks about exit strategy, or maybe they're right on the fence. Give them a little love and bring some more people to the channel. We could use a few more subscribers. All right. Until next time, guys, this is Mike Glaspie signing off.